Good morning Year 9 and welcome to today's maths lesson. Let's start off with a quick starter, shall we? Can you find 654 divided by 100? Can you do 3/4 multiplied by 2/7? And finally, a map has the scale 1 to 100,000. Two cities on the map are 4 centimetres apart. How far apart are they in real life? Can you give your answer in centimetres and kilometres for me? Pause the video and have a go at these questions now, please. Okay, 654 divided by 100, we need to move all of those numbers 2 spaces on our place value table, which will leave us with 6.54. When multiplying fractions, we multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. So Josh, what's 3 times 2? 6, thank you, that goes on the top. And Rowan, what's 4 times 7? 28, brilliant. We can simplify that by dividing top and bottom by 2, which could simplify to 3/14. And finally, I said 2 cities are 4 centimetres apart. Using this ratio, I need to do 4 times 100,000, because for every one of those centimetres on a map, it's actually 100,000 centimetres in real life. So we're looking at 400,000 centimetres. But I've been asked to convert that into kilometres. So I divide it by 1,000 to convert it into, divide it by 100 to convert it into metres, which gives me 4,000 metres. Then we know there are 1,000 metres in a kilometre, so if I divide that answer by 1,000, I'm left with 4 kilometres in real life. Okay, Year 9, today we're moving on to angles. Now what do we measure angles with? What's this called? Owen, what's this called? Protractor, lovely. You're going to need a protractor for today's lesson. And what do we measure angles in? What's the unit of an angle? Lewis? Degrees, lovely. Or we can write it as this little 0 in the air. Okay, Year 9, you're going to need a protractor for today's lesson. I'm going to get one out. Here's my protractor. In your dark blue books, can you write the title Measuring Angles, or in your neat work, write the title Measuring Angles. I'm going to do a couple of examples and then you're going to have a go at a couple of examples. You're going to need to print this off. I've attached it as a PDF so that you have access to it so you can measure it yourself using your protractor. So this first angle, what type of angle do we call this type of angle, Rowan? It's an acute angle, lovely. So to measure my angle, I line up the base of my protractor with the bottom of my angle and I look at where this line extends to. So this extends to 23 degrees. This other angle is going to be over 180 degrees. What type of angle do we call this one, Josh? This is a reflex angle, exactly. So first up, I need to line up my protractor with the bottom of the angle. It's easier to do it on a piece of paper than it is on the board. There we go, I've lined it up. I'm going to put a little mark where 180 degrees is. It's here. So we know this angle is 180 degrees plus a little bit more. So, this bit here, bear with me, there it is. This bit here, this part of the angle is 180 degrees. We now need to add on the rest of my angle, so I'm going to rotate my protractor back round. So we've got 180 plus this extra bit here. This extra bit here appears to be about 153. So in total, my reflex angle is going to be 180 to get to here, plus my 153, which takes me to here, 180 plus 153 gives me 3, 3, 3, 333 degrees. Over to you, Year 9. On your piece of paper that hopefully you've printed out, can you measure these two angles for me? Pause the video for a couple of minutes and have a go at that now. Okay, let's go through the answers. So for the first one, what do we call this type of angle? Josh, what type of angle is this? Begins with an O. An obtuse angle. And hopefully you'll have measured that as about 74 degrees. It might be slightly different on your piece of paper. And this other reflex angle, this one would have measured at 308 degrees. Approximately, might be a little bit different on your piece of paper. Okay, let's pop the protractor away. I'm going to go through an example and then you're going to go through an example, so pens down and eyes on the board. I've given you a protractor and I've said, can you work out what this red angle is by reading the protractor? So I look at, we're going from 0, which is here. What's this angle here going to be? I look at my number on my protractor and it's 70 degrees. Over to you, Year 9. Can you read this protractor? What's this angle going to be? Pause the video and have a little think now. Okay, I'm going to start by extending my line so that I can see it all the way through to the edge. This angle here, from here to here, is going to be 60 degrees. Okay, Year 9, hopefully you'll have printed this out as it will be attached as a PDF. Can you work out the size of each of these angles for me? To help you out, I suggest you draw a line from the middle of the protractor all the way out so that you can extend it to the scale on the outside of the protractor. Pause the video for 5 to 10 minutes and have a go at these questions now, please. And then have a go at these 4 questions for me. Pause the video and have a go now. And these are the answers. I was looking for 50, 50. Notice that even though we switched to the other side of the protractor, the red line still only shows 50 degrees. We're just going from either end of the protractor. I've then got 130 and 130 in exactly the same way. This one we've extended that angle just 5 extra degrees to give us 135 degrees. And the last one we've got 45 degrees. For these ones, I've got 120 and 60. And finally, these were reflex angles, so you needed to remember to add on the 180 to whatever the extra angle was. So for this one, you needed to do 180 plus 120 in the same way we did in the example, which will give me 300 degrees. And again for the last one. So a quick recap of notation. We can label an angle by its start, middle and end point. For example, here we've got an angle. I've given you P, R and Q. If we start at P, just because we normally do it in alphabetical order, go down to Q and then back up to R, we can call this angle PQR. So dark blue books out please, Year 9. Can I have the title Angles Around a Point? And underneath, can you write the sentence, angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. When you've got that written down, can I see pens down and eyes on the board? Right, Year 9. I'm going to go through an example and then you're going to go through an example. My examples asked me to find out what x is. I know that the angle all the way around this point is going to be 360. So to work out what x is, I need to do 360, take away 307. So that remaining angle there is going to be 53 degrees. Over to you, Year 9. In your notes, can you have a go at this example for me? Pause the video for a couple of minutes and work it out now. Okay, in the same way, I've got 360 all the way around, so I need to do 360, Take away 128, which gives me what, Dylan? 360 take away 128 gives me 232 degrees. Fab. Okay, Year 9, in your light blue books, can you have a go at these questions for me? Pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes and work those out. Quick question, Charlotte, what does the little square mean? 90 degrees, excellent. The little square just means a right angle. Off you go. And these are the answers. Please check how you did. ABCD cards for me, Year 9. What's the size of angle X? Is it 136? Is it 150? Is it 224? Or is it 236? Pause the video for a minute and answer that question now. Okay, we know the angles around of a point add up to 360. So to work out what X is, we need to do 360 take away 150. Which leaves me with 210. We then need to do 210 take away the remaining angle, take away 74. 10 take away 4 gives me 6. 11 take away 7 gives me 4. So it's 146. Have I done that wrong? 10 take away 4 gives me 6. 11 take away 7 gives me 4. 360. That is right. Sorry, this should be 146. Take away 4 is 6. Yeah, it is 146. Okay, Year 9, let's talk about angles around of a point versus on a straight line. Here I've got a point and I've got 360 degrees all the way through. If I span all the way around on the spot, I'd be turning through 360 degrees. So what's the angle on a straight line going to be? Ryan, help me out. What's this bit going to be, which is half of it? I'm just turning halfway. The angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Okay, blue book's out. Can I have the title Angles on a Straight Line? And underneath, can you write angles on a line add up to 180 degrees? Then can I see pens down and eyes on the board? Here I've got an example and I've been asked, can I work out what P is? I've got a straight line and I've got two angles on it. So I know that 110 plus whatever P is going to add up to 180 degrees. So to work out what P is, I need to do 180, take away 110, which gives me 70 degrees. Over to you, Year 9. In your dark blue books, can you have a go at this example for me? This angle here is 100 degrees. Pause the video, have a go at that now, please. Rightio, let's check how we did. I need to do 180, take away 100, which leaves me with 80 degrees. So P in this case was 80 degrees. In your light blue books, Year 9, can you have a go at these 5 questions? Pause the video for a couple of minutes and work those out now, please. And these are the answers I was looking for. Please check your work and see how you did. Okay, Year 9, in your light blue books, can you now pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes and work out these questions, working out what X is in each case? And these are the answers. Please check how you did. And finally, hopefully this time the answer will be A, B, C or D. Can you work out the size of angle X for me? Okay, let's go through the answer. We need to do 180, take away 138. 10 take away 8 gives me 2. 7 take away 3 gives me 4. 0, and thank goodness the answer is B. Thanks very much for today, Year 9. That's the end of today's lesson. Can you now head on over to Google Classroom and submit today's exit ticket for me? Have a lovely day. Goodbye.